We are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports? We hope that you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Yes. We are an hour late on our start time tonight. We were interviewing LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson today, which then pushed back AYS show, at least the live show tonight. So that will be airing or be going on WBRZ YouTube channel within probably tonight or tomorrow at some point. Shout out to Coach Jay Johnson, the Portal King. What an amazing human being Jay Johnson is, and an amazing coach. Thank him. I want to thank him for allowing myself and Matt Trent to sit down with him for about 45 minutes to an hour. That interview, guys, if you're a baseball fan, if you're a Tiger fan, is going to blow you away. Jay Johnson, I've talked to many of coaches throughout the 4.5 years of AYS. Quite honestly, there's only 3 that I walk away from more blown away by. And one of those guys is Jay Johnson. Absolutely fantastic coach and human being. So be on the lookout for that. We'll be sharing that. We'll be sharing some clips inside AYS as well in the next couple of days with that. But I don't know if you heard. LSU has got another commitment. Brian Kelly recruit. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to release a little bit of info. The rest of it, you're going to have to go to the AYS message board, the AYS forum, to get the rest of it. LSU had to do some absolute digging for Mr. Kaleb Jackson this week and over the last couple of days. But Frank Wilson, Brian Kelly, and staff pull it off. And what, quite honestly, I don't know if Nick Saban realized how good of a recruiter Brian Kelly actually was. Now, some of you will say, oh, Blake's just full of BS. I'm not. I am not. So I'll give a little bit of snippet. The rest of it, you're going to have to go to the forum. Guys, $7 a month. We greatly appreciate it. So we will touch on that. Ruffino's rants, Kaleb Jackson commits. Oh! LSU edge rusher, BJ Ojulari, was announced today that he will be accompanying Brian Kelly to SEC Media Days. So, one of LSU's team captains will be joining us here tonight live. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to talking to BJ Ojulari. In Media Days, what I think about the 3 selections, I think it's really good. And as we do every Tuesday and Thursday, hashtag Ask Blake. You have a question, fire them inside the Rudy Crew chat. We'll get to them. Our producer, Zach, will try to get to as many of them as we can as the show goes on. But nevertheless, welcome aboard. Glad you are with us. This is AYS. Okay. So let's do this. We got a lot, Zach, to get into. A lot to get into here tonight. So let's do this. Everybody do us a favor and hit the like and share. So many of you are watching us on Facebook. You can go to Facebook. You can go to our website, ayssnetwork.com. Watch the show from there, from podcast. Just click the podcast tab. If you're listening to us on YouTube, rate, review, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you're listening to us on XM Radio or you're listening to us on the audio podcast platform, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, Zach, we got a lot to get into, so let's pay these bills. None better than our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons and betonline.ag. Guys, we'll be back in a minute 30. Stay tuned. Our partners over at BetOnline continue to be the #1 source for all of your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, including updated odds on the NBA playoffs, fights, and even next season's futures. And don't forget that the MLB is back as well. Who are you picking to win the World Series? BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sports wagering needs, including live betting and your favorite Vegas casino and poker games. It's easy to get started, so head on over to their website. Use betonline.ag. Use that promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. That's BLEAV to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag. Betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varnado & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down on the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varnado & Sons. Go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992. 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. So we do have a lot to get into. Let's get to a couple comments, though, before we get started. Let's get this thing started, y'all. KJ says, remember when people are saying we wouldn't get top recruits because Corey Raymond was leaving? Frank Wilson said, hold my beer. That's true. Very true. No, Alex. Grizzly Mint. Kim on Facebook says, Mike Jones, who will actually be joining us tomorrow, and then Chris Hilton on Thursday. So a lot of stuff with AYS, man. She says Mike Jones is going to media days too. That he is. Blaine Dooley says Blake is the GOAT. Thank you, Blaine. Thank you so much. Brandon Reese says, I wonder when Shelton Sampson makes his decision. I would say signing day. I don't know that. I really don't. Really don't. Jay Guidry says, we have a damn football coach. That we do. And Jordan says on YouTube, Frank Wilson with a crown emoji. So, guys, let's get into this. Look, it would be easy to come out here tonight and say that LSU had everything locked down with Mr. Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. But what I do know, and this is from multiple sides, guys, really and truthfully, in the real, true, and first head-to-head battle between the Brian Kelly regime and the Nick Saban regime, I guess you'll call it, finally went head-to-head in a recruiting battle. Now, you can say, well, Blake, that's not true. You had last year, you had Eli Holstein. Guys, some of these things aren't really necessarily real, true head-to-head battles like it was for Kaleb Jackson. Alabama really did want Kaleb Jackson. Guys, stop telling me this class, this staff can't recruit. Stop telling me that Brian Kelly doesn't know what he's doing, because every single time he's met with an obstacle, meaning Brian Kelly, he continues over and over and over and over again to tell the LSU fans to relax. There's not one thing that Brian Kelly has done, not one thing that Brian Kelly has done that should make you panic. I get it. Recruiting is a very tough time. And Kaleb Jackson, guys, is a very good running back. You cannot lose Kaleb Jackson to Alabama. You can't lose Kaleb Jackson to anybody. Not only is he a 5'11", 200-pound running back, the kid can run you over. He can truck stick you. Boom. And he can run away from you. He ran a 10.66 100-meter dash. I put it on the forum, but Zach, I don't remember. I think it was like a 22-something 200-meter dash. The kid has blazing speed. Quite honestly, you could say that he is a taller Clyde and faster and stronger is what you can call them. Huge addition. So now LSU gets their second in-state recruit. There are some other guys that they will go after, and I'm going to save this part, though, however, for the forum, for the message board. Some guys that I think that LSU's hot on the trail for, some guys that they will be going after. But I would say that the defense has had their day. Listen to me very closely. The defense has had their day in the sun. Now it's the offense's turn. You still have to go get Shelton Sampson. You still have to go, in my opinion, probably the most underrated player in Louisiana in this class. You still have to go get Kai Preem from St. James. Maybe, just maybe, I think we're not done yet. So take it as you will. Take that information as you will. However, no matter how you slice it, Brian Kelly is and will always put an emphasis on in-state recruiting. Did we really, guys, there are parts of me that wants to ask the serious question, are we not going to take Brian Kelly at his word? Right? Because I am. There's nothing that would prove to me otherwise. Nothing. But as I said last night, as I put in the forum, as I will continue to say, this recruiting staff, along with the staff itself, is elite. Guys, look, I don't follow the message boards. I'm not a subscriber to any of them outside of tigerbait.com. Shout out to Mike Scarborough. I don't follow them. I will go and watch kids in Louisiana and watch film of others to get and base my own opinion on all of these guys. I will digress to someone who's really good at skill positions like Carter Bryant, who was on last night. But to say all of that, we were 47th, 50th? I don't remember. In the recruiting rankings. And in 12 days, guys, 12 days, LSU has completely cleaned house. And is continuing to clean house. And they will continue to clean house. See, we thought that this baseball thing was something, y'all. Like we thought, and talking with Jay, and that interview is going to be out there. We'll touch on a little bit of some things and some key pieces that Jay told us, and you can go and see the rest of the interview. But recruiting's at an all-time high around LSU right now. Football, baseball, basketball, when it's time, they will have it. Kim Mulkey's out there getting number 1 overall recruits in the country. Probably, and Michaela Williams, who potentially could go 1 overall when it's her time to go into the WNBA. How do you think all this is happening? LSU's been doing this a long time, man. They've been doing it since Saban. They did it for Les. They did it for Orgeron. They'll do it for Kelly. You know, a lot of times people rib on anyone not named Saban around these parts. And quite frankly, I understand it. I understand it from the Orgeron side. I understand it about Les Miles. There's some things you can't defend. But, guys, you win a lot of games because of elite recruiting. Recruiting, this should go on a T-shirt. Recruiting is the lifeblood that fuels the dreams of champions. It is the lifeblood that fuels the dreams of champions. If you want to graduate champions, and that's the slogan that Brian Kelly is continuing to push, and I agree with him, you got to recruit elite talent. Shelton Sampson, Jaylen Brown. I think Kaleb Jackson is an absolute stud And now you have a 1-2 punch with him and Trey Holly. The only thing that LSU is lacking, and guys that I feel confident that will commit right now at the current moment, is quarterback. And let me say this. You can say Blake's putting lipstick on a pig. You can say that Blake's sugarcoating. He's being a fanboy. He's a homer. You can call me whatever you would like. Guys, quite honestly, at the quarterback position, if LSU does not get a freshman in the 2023 class, a senior in high school right now to commit, sign, seal, deliver, it is not going to worry me whatsoever. Here's why. Because there's one beautiful thing that coaches may not have liked in the very beginning. And Jay flat out told us that in the interview today. Jay Johnson flat out told us that he was skeptical of the transfer portal, but you can either adapt or you can die. He didn't say that exactly. I'm paraphrasing a little bit, but adapt or die. That's how billionaires, that's how CEOs, that's how Fortune 500 companies work. Do you really think that McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Starbucks didn't adapt? You know, I remember going to an event and Magic Johnson was the keynote speaker. And Magic talked about business, and he was talking about like when he invested into Starbucks, right? Some of you might not know Magic Johnson was a big investor inside of Starbucks. And he was, you know, his vision was putting sweet potato pie at the front. When you check out, you can then get you some sweet potato pie. They adapted. I agree with Magic. I think you should put some sweet potato pie back out on the counter. Companies adapt. The thing that Magic Johnson was saying, though, and you might not have gotten that, was, guys, we're not doing that anymore because we had to adapt. We had to adapt to our customer base. Doesn't mean I don't like sweet potato pie any less. Barney Mac said something funny about sweet potato pie or pumpkin pie. Y'all should go look that up. With the portal the way that it is for a quarterback, I don't worry about it at all. At all. Guys, Ole Miss is quarterback, portal. Texas is starting quarterback, portal. Florida's, I'm not going to say Florida's starting quarterback, but a quarterback competing for the Florida starting job, portal. Your 2019 champion, the quarterback on that team, portal. Kyler Murray, Heisman Trophy winner, portal. Ohio State went to the national championship, their quarterback, portal. It doesn't matter anymore, guys. And like it kind of legitimately doesn't. There's going to be a really damn good quarterback that's going to hit the portal, and I think LSU goes after him. Just my thought. All right, let's get to a couple comments. Let me say this too. I'll talk about the Jay Johnson very quickly. And BJ Ojulari, LSU's star leader, defensive leader, joins us in about 9 minutes. I'm missing the comment. I can't find it. Oh well. It was something about recruiting, guys. At the end of the show, I will put that information. They were asking about offensive line. I will answer that question inside the forum. Jeff Futch says, hashtag Ask Blake. I know it's a far-fetched question, but how big is it having the Honey Badger back in the boot as close as he is to the program, a former number 7 being the tipping point for some of these guys to stay in state? I don't know, Jeff, if it's a huge deal. I know that he's talking to some recruits, but I don't think, guys, with NIL and everything going on, I really, really, really don't believe it has a lot to do with it. Nate, I'll answer that question inside the forum, buddy. Travis on Facebook says, what about the tight ends? We need tight ends too. Well, guys, quite honestly, you got Mac Markway. And if you talk to Brian Kelly, even in the spring, he talked glowingly at the end of it all about Cole Taylor. Now, I called him Colby, but forgive him for just a second. I mean, he's still learning guys' names. But look, I'm completely okay with I'm completely okay with tight end at the current moment because you have Mason Taylor. Maybe it's not elite this season, right? Like it's not an elite thing this season. Maybe you don't have that guy that is elite right now, but you get Mac Markway. I mean, there's so many guys, man, that you're just going to get or have a potential to get. Because I'm looking here very quickly inside my notes of the 2024 class. And I forget the young man's name, so bear with me. I'm trying to look him up because I don't want to miss him. It's a tight end from, I think he's was it West Feliciana? Maybe you guys in the chat help me out. Who is the is it Tyler? No, Tyler Singleton is the safety from Manny, I believe. Y'all help me out inside the comments. I can't remember that young man's name. Tre'Davious Green. That's it. Tre'Davious Green. So Tre'Davious Green is a 5-star tight end. He's the number one player in the state of Louisiana in 2024. By the way, you want to watch some freakish athleticism and a kid that's just an absolute freak with the ball in his hands, a guy that could play tight end or defensive end. It doesn't really matter. Go pop in that kid's film. He's like 6'6", 245 pounds or something like that. The kid is a beast. Beast. He's a beast. LGZ. What? Hey, kind of LGZ. Hey, kind of young Jesus. He says Galloway and Green. Yes. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Let's get to a couple of these comments, though. Tigers Avenue Podcast. Zachary, our producer, says Markway and Galloway. Yeah, and Galloway, look, I'm not going to break the young man's commitment, but it is trending very, very well for LSU. Pressure Williams says AYS is applying pressure. I don't know what that means, Pauls. But yeah. Kenny Russell. Look at Kenny in that profile pic. He got a jacket on. He got a button up on. He got the slacks on. And look, he's got a PBR in his left hand. My name's Kenny. I like Miller Lights. I love you, Kenny. Kenny Russell says Kaleb Jackson reminds me of Josh Jacobs. Kenny, I think that's a really good comp. I think that's a really good comp. I don't know if he's a bruiser, like if he's just going to run dudes over like Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs does not have the speed of Kaleb Jackson. Guys, Kaleb Jackson went a 10.66 100-meter dash. That's blazing. That's like Pooh Bear after funeral chicken. You want to see the fastest man alive? Tell Pooh Bear there's funeral chicken in the kitchen. He gonna kill me, man. Pooh Bear is gonna kill me, man. I know he's typing. He's coming up with something clever. LG says Galloway's committing at the end of the month too. Very true. And look, you get two tight ends like Mac Markway and Galloway, and then Tre'Davious Green. There's no reason why Tre'Davious Green shouldn't look at the NFL rosters and say, hey, this tight end is a Pro Bowler. Went to Notre Dame. Hey, this guy's a Pro Bowler. Where'd he go? Notre Dame. And there's no telling what Mike Denbrock is going to be able to do with Cole Taylor. No telling. There he is. Pooh Bear. Sorry I'm late. What'd I miss? Apparently you were in the kitchen eating funeral chicken. That's what Zach said. Zach said, Pooh Bear, that there's nobody on planet Earth faster than you going after Publix funeral chicken. That's what Zach said, not me. I would never disrespect you like that, ever. Oh, we got a question for Pooh Bear from Jordan. He says, hashtag ask Pooh, is there anywhere better than Blue Store for that chicken? I don't know if Pooh Bear's had the Blue Store. Jason Brumfield said, I was thinking Michael Ford for the comp for Kaleb Jackson. It's interesting. Very, very interesting. He's been, maybe, man. Maybe. Bruce on Facebook says, speaking of a freakish tight end, what happened to the guy we had left and went to Georgia? Head case. Eric Gilbert. Look, let me say this about Eric Gilbert, man. Sometimes life comes at you fast, guys. And I do not. Sometimes, man, things just happen. I mean, guys, he was an 18-year-old kid. During COVID, couldn't leave his dorm, couldn't go out and hang with buddies, couldn't hang out with friends. You know, and I know it's an excuse. I get it. It's an excuse. I am not going to rip on Eric Gilbert. I wish the man good luck. The only thing that I will ever get on Eric Gilbert about, I got ripped on this on Georgia's 247. Ripped alive by a guy even that I find to do this very well in our business, and Rusty Manziel. But Eric Gilbert, guys, was on LSU's campus after he was in the portal, staying with some guys, and, you know, yeah. I think he did some of the players wrong, but that's just my opinion. John on Facebook says, hashtag ask Blake, would you consider Moss elite as a tight end? No. If Taylor gets close to that, we will be fine. See, what people forget about Thaddeus Moss in that year, Thaddeus Moss was an elite blocker, right? Like elite. Like, go pop in that Bama film. Go pop in the Bama film. Thaddeus Moss was elite. I remember, and we did a film breakdown on Thaddeus Moss, and he took Derek Brown to town. Pause. You can say pause all you want. He took Derek Brown to town. Bad baby all up and down the field. Don't get it twisted. Thaddeus Moss was a dog, man. As a former fat FCS offensive lineman, that dude can block. You know who I couldn't block, though? On my best day. That's LSU's Ed Rusher, outside linebacker, DN. You know, talking to some coaches on the coaching staff, this kid could do it all. That's BJ Ojulari. The team captain, y'all. The team captain. I'm so excited for him and Mike. I saw Mike Jones Jr. today. Who? But I talked to Mike, and, man, I'm just so excited for those guys, young men, going to media day. So let's do this. We will talk about Coach Jay Johnson. I'll give you some tidbits on our interview with him after we talk to BJ Ojulari. So let's do this. Let's take a very, very quick break. Your team captain, guys, BJ Ojulari, joins us on the other side. Let's pay these bills. We'll be right back. None better than our good friends over the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com, and my good friend Carol Foss over at State Farm. We'll be back in a minute 30 with BJ Ojulari.
By the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Whether you've been injured in an accident, you're preparing for a future with your estate planning, you're getting ready to close in on a real estate deal, or you're about to welcome a new addition through adoption into your family, or you're facing criminal charges, you need very experienced attorneys, and that is what the Drake Williams Law Firm will be able to do for you in navigating the legal system. The door to their cozy office in historic downtown Ponchatoula has been open since 1981. They have helped thousands and thousands of Louisiana families and individuals win cases, close on real estate deals, and regain that peace of mind. Their lawyers over at the Drake Williams Law Firm, Ernie Drake III, Ryan J. Williams, and Summer Vicnair, are very determined, compassionate, and dedicated to their craft. It's the Drake Williams Law Firm, drakewilliamslawfirm.com. Give them a call today at 985-386-7600 Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino at AYS sent you on by.
Guys, you might know my good friend Carol Falls and all the great service that he provides over at State Farm. He is your good neighbor after all. But did you know State Farm has surprisingly great rates as well? Along with the great neighbor service, State Farm agent Carol Falls has surprisingly great rates for everyone inside the state of Louisiana. So call him today at 985-395-4300, 985-395-4300 for all of those surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to the State Farm underwriting requirements. Ladies and gentlemen, BJ Ojulari joins us. BJ, what's happening, my man?
Not much. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's good to bring you on here. I appreciate you joining us. I know that you got a lot going on, especially this upcoming Monday, man. So we're going to talk about that, talk about what you expect for this season, but I greatly appreciate you joining us. So let's start there, man. It was announced today, and I know that you guys maybe have known for a little bit that you guys are going to be going to media days. But, man, this is such a big accomplishment for you, not on the field but off, that Coach Brian Kelly selected you as one of the team leaders of this LSU team. BJ, what does it mean to you that Brian Kelly selected you to go with him this upcoming Monday?
It means a lot to me, being able to represent LSU, represent me, my family, but most of all the school, just being able to, talk about how our season is going to go, how we feel, how the team is going, and the new additions to the staff.
So you're a kid from Georgia, right? And I don't know how far you are away from Atlanta or, my brother and sisters live in Woodstock. Okay. How big is it that not only are you representing LSU, but you're a Georgia kid going back to Atlanta, the hub of the South? I mean, that's got to be a big deal to you, right? Going back to your home state and representing LSU.
Yeah, it's going to be a big deal. I really just figured out it was in Atlanta this week. So, that's going to be exciting for me, being able to go back close to home and represent my state.
Well, BJ, from someone who has a lot of college experience, because I was not a smart guy, I stayed all 5 years. That's when you text mama and be like, Mama, can you meet me in Atlanta and bring me some home-cooked meal? You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you need, she's got to be there. Believe me. BJ, you had a great season last year, man. One of the best outside rushers, DNs, outside linebacker, whatever they want to put on you. Man, it's so crazy how much you evolved as a freshman into now being one of the elite pass rushers in the SEC, if not all of college football. What have you seen in your game that is involved from day one at LSU until now?
Just in my game, I focused on really just the little details. All the coaches we have had in the past and have now, that's what they focus on, tweaking the little things just to make me better. I just don't want to be known as a pass rusher. I want to be known as one of the best defensive players. So just being able to stop the run has been big for me, gaining more weight, being more tap heavy to strike and get off blocks.
I probably shouldn't ask this, but how much are you up to now, weight-wise?
Right now I'm at 250.
Dang, dog. I mean, how did you get there? Just the Coach Flint method? I mean, how did BJ Ojulari get there?
It's just a progression from the past 3 years, just being at LSU. Started playing really at 225, 230, and just kept progressing to get to this stage now.
BJ, you brought up something very interesting. You talked about wanting to not just be the pass rush guy. You want to stop the run. Last year, man, against Alabama, y'all held them to 6 rushing yards. I'm just throwing that game as a good accomplishment for you guys up front. You were a big part of helping and stopping them for only 6 rushing yards. What have you learned or done with, not just, weight, but techniques? I mean, is there something that you're able to do now, or is it just basically experience and when a guy's cutting across your face, it's more than likely going to be a run? Like what brought you to be able to be such a good run stopper as well?
Yeah, just progression, learning more about the game, learning schemes, learning, taking deeper dives into film, learning formations and stuff like that is going to give you the little edge that you need to react to a play even faster, make that stop on third down. So for me, just learning cues of offensive linemen, of tight ends, and formations, just going through my progression before every play. That really helps me and then experience from playing in the SEC games as well.
BJ, if you weren't going to get a flag, right? Like if the ref wasn't going to throw a flag on you on a celebration, you get a big sack or a big stop in a run play on third down. What is the BJ Ojulari special? Like, are we hitting the gritty like everybody else? Like, what dance move is BJ Ojulari pulling out?
I'm not really big on dancing. I don't really know how too much to dance, but my celebration really just, probably just a flex, yell, get the crowd pumped up, just something simple.
Don't be like Mike Jones Jr. Who Mike Jones? Mike goes around like slap hands. I mean, but that man, he's crazy now.
Yeah, I
he's
remember
crazy.
he played, he just running around trying to get some high five.
Shout out to the water boy. But look, Mike is a great dude.
Most
so let's lean on that a little bit. Two of you guys on the defensive side, especially in the front seven, are going to be at SC Media Days. Now, we talked to Mike a lot, and I want to get it from your perspective. BJ, this front seven, you, Jaquelin Roy, Mason Smith, Ali Gay, Jacobian, we can list them all. You guys could be some of the best in the country in the SEC as well. What is y'all's focus? I mean, because I know that you guys are trying to get back to where, to 19 versus last season, but you guys are so talented up front. How close is that unit? How close are you guys on that defensive line?
I think we're a real close unit. We all have the same task at hand, trying to be the most dominant unit, in college football. I think we're well on our way, just being able to mesh well with like the linebackers like Mike Jones, being able to communicate more and just little things like that, just off the field too. The closer we get off the field, the better we're going to play. So, Ali Gay, he does a great job, getting us on off-field activities to get the bond just even stronger.
It was interesting that video posted of Ali Gay. He was getting in everybody's stuff, man. You got to love it. You got to love it. The SWAT teams has been a big deal. Everybody that we've talked to just, hey, man, I'm on this person's SWAT team, this person's SWAT team. Do you have your own, or whose SWAT team are you on?
So I had my own during the spring. I started my SWAT team on spring, but during the summer, I'm on Mekhi Garner's SWAT team.
Who's all on your guys' team?
So it's a couple guys. So I got Cam Wire, Jay Ward, Desmond Little, John Emery. We got Emory Jones. Got who else? Is a couple guys. We got Todd Harris. I'm trying to think. That's just off what I can just think off.
So you got the beef and you got the speed. I heard that the tug of war that you guys did was probably most intense. Did y'all win that one, or how did that go for your group?
Most definitely, we won. We got the strength, we got the speed, we got everything. So most definitely, we won.
Jay Ward told me Saturday that he was the reason y'all won the tug of war.
Nah, I don't feel fun. Nah.
Well, look, you guys are filled with a bunch of seniors. A lot of you guys came in together, talking about Jay Ward, but you bring in guys like Jarek Bernard Converse, Seven Banks, Joe Fuchsia, and others. How has that relationship been? Because, look, you and I know, BJ, communication on the field is probably the number one thing, more than what you'll do on an individual side. How good has that been with the newer guys coming into this team?
They definitely, came in and meshed well. Even with coming in with the new staff, they got it quick. They learned everything really quick. They're meshing well in the locker room as well, and they're eager to learn. They're eager to communicate and just be able to show their talents and perform.
So I do have one. So a lot of people are asking you questions inside the chat. So we'll try to get to a couple of them and get you on out of here. BJ Ojulari, LSU outside linebackers, our guest. But Doug knows, says hashtag ask BJ, who is the O-lineman that's the toughest to get around in practice? Now, I'm going to add on to that. You have a really good freshman that you've gone up against in Will Campbell. How good is that young man?
Oh, he's going to be a great offensive tackle. Coach Brad Davis, he does an amazing job coaching the offensive line unit, and you can just see the progression that they made during the spring. But the hardest to probably get around is probably Cam Wire. He has the most experience, in my opinion. He has a lot of SEC experience, so he's the most technical and sound one. So he's probably the hardest to get around.
You can't trick a guy that's been there longer than you, BJ. I'm just, as a former O-lineman myself, look, we got some tricks up our sleeve. But you talked about Will Campbell and the adapting that he's done. Could you see a big difference in him from practice 1 to the end of spring?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Just the little things. Going against him every day, you just seeing him get better, doing little more stuff to knock you off your game. But he's good at the point of attack, and he's meshing well as the whole unit getting better.
BJ, I asked this question to everybody, and it's all unique, but it all is pretty much centric. What is the team? I don't want to say the team goal, but what is, there seems like there's such a big difference from last season, right, wrong, or indifferent, and this season. What would you say has been the biggest difference? Is it team camaraderie, coaching? Like, what do you say is the biggest difference from last season to this season?
That's really hard to say. Just two different type of environments in my opinion. But the task at hand is still the same. We're focused on winning as many games as we can. Focused on Florida State, going into New Orleans right now. So everybody's just focused on that, getting better, learning what they need to learn, and being accountable.
Perfect answer. Perfect. That's why you get to go to SEC Media Days. You know what I mean? The perfect answer. BJ, we do have a lot of people firing in this question, so I'll just ask you. It's funny because LSU is kind of on this recruiting bender. A lot of kids committing. How much, Jay Ward talked about, like, 2 of the guys that I hosted, they've committed to LSU. How involved how involved are you in trying to help the future generation come to LSU?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely involved. Anytime they want me to host, I host. 2 of my guys that I hosted before committed to LSU too. So
okay,
yeah.
Brian Kelly signed this man. That's what I hear.
As players, we take pride in hosting recruits, showing them the best of LSU, and what they can do at LSU, the dreams they can accomplish at LSU. So I guess when they see us and what we can accomplish and what our futures are going to be like, I just guess it's enticing just to come to LSU.
And you'll always have that connection with that person, right? Like, I remember my host, he played at Minnesota for 7 years. I talk to him at least twice a month. You'll always have you never play with one another, but,
right.
But you'll always have that connection. All right, BJ, last question for you, man. You've been absolutely fantastic. Is there any personal goals that you have? LSU has not had a sack leader that's had double-digit sacks in quite a while. And I know that you said before that was something that you had looked forward to, not just being a dominant player, but that is a goal. Is that still one of your goals to get double-digit sacks this season?
Oh yeah, that's definitely one of the goals. I just believe if I play the hardest and help the team win, everything else is going to take care of itself, including that and all my personal goals. But the team goals come first, and just winning games is the main priority.
I lied. Last one. Dude, you have such a high motor. You know what I mean? Like, you might be on the whole opposite side of the field and then come back and there's like, damn, where'd BJ come from? Is that just a mentality? Is that just a flip of the switch when you go from the sideline to the field? Like, hey, dog, this is my territory. Like, you're in my playground now. Tell me, man, like, where does that come from? Because you're all over the field 24/7.
It just comes from in high school. I played both ways, so I really didn't come off the field. So just being able to sell out and play like every play is my last. Just just having that love for the game. That's just what drives me to make plays like across the field.
BJ Ojulari, the team captain, one of the team captains. Man, I'm so excited for you. I know that it is a humbling experience. You're a great player, a great young man, and we wish you all the well. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll look forward to having you on again soon.
Thank you so much.
That's BJ Ojulari, man. We'll see you soon. Fantastic. Fantastic. Dude is amazing, bro. I want a BJ Ojulari. I want a BJ Ojulari jersey. You know what I'm doing? BJ Ojulari jersey. We're doing it, man. God, he's such an amazing kid. You're right, Rick. Thanks, BJ. Awesome job. That is why you win games. Because of what that young man does on and off the field. Round of applause. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, this is what we're going to do, guys. I'm going to talk about Jay Johnson very quickly. Very, very, very quickly. But let's do this. Let's pay some bills. Let's talk about our good friends over at Gramco very quickly. And then I'll give you some hints and some things that we talked about with Jay Johnson when we return. Back in a minute. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Guys, I've got to talk to you about our good friends over at Gramco. They are the Delta 8 company based out of the state of Florida. They're founded by college football junkies just like you and I am not sure if you're familiar with Delta 8, but you need to be. Gramco is the absolute leader in this field, and they have phenomenal products that I just need to tell you about. First off is the Wake and Bake coffee that is absolutely spectacular. The gummies are as well, as they're the best in the market. So go to thegramco.com right now and use the promo code AYS25. That's thegramco.com, AYS25 promo code to get 25% off of your order. Jump on this fast as it is perfect for holidays, anniversaries, and everyday use. Gramco is hemp-derived and completely legal inside of the state of Louisiana. No medical card is needed, and shipping is very discreet. You must be 21 years older to order. Again, that's thegramco.com. Use that promo code AYS25. The show here tonight. Let me talk about this. So we did get to talk to LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson today, and I'm not going to give a whole lot here. And I said this earlier, so if you missed it, do us a favor, hit the like and share, all that great stuff. But there are probably three main things that I wanted to share about the interview. Number one, and I know that we talk about this, and this is just so cliche. Man, Jay Johnson has a plan for everything, y'all. Everything. This kid going here, this kid going to the draft. Okay, well, we're going to do this, and this. That plan doesn't work. We're going to do this, and this. I just can't get over just how attention to detail he was. And I don't think that, look, there's going to be guys that are going to go in the draft, and Jay talked about that in the interview, and he went into great detail. Very great detail there. But when I put my head on the pillow at night, right, like when everything's said and done, I know that Jay Johnson is going to do everything for his team to win a national title. Going to getting Wes Johnson, going to getting Coach Jacobs, one of the most elite recruiters in all of college baseball. Look, guys, college baseball is changing. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's changing. The fandom around college baseball is growing, and Jay knows that. And there's a buy-in from Woodward. There's a buy-in from so many people around LSU, either in the buildings or not in the buildings. And I just, it's not that I wasn't already sold, because I was, but I'm more sold now than I've ever been. Jay was not shy in talking about the deficiencies of last year, and everybody knows him, and he's not going to sugarcoat them. And he talks about that in great detail that I can't even give the right wording for it. You'll just have to listen to him. But I am so ready, man, and I know that it's just ending, but when February comes around, when January comes around next year, if I'm being truthful, I'm just so ready for this baseball season. I think that they have a squad, man. I think they have the pitching. I think they got the freshman class, and they attack the portal. The three things you got to do. And for that alone, You know, there's nobody that probably works harder to try to get to a national title more than Jay Johnson. But guys, you're just gonna have to. I know that baseball season's over. You're just gonna have to go and watch it. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, Pooh Bear, are you ready to come on? All right, so let's bring our producer Pooh Bear up in here. Pooh Bear.
Yes.
First off, I see that you're wearing a hat. What is this?
Let's make small podcasts great again.
With a Golden Boot logo? Is that what I see?
Yes. And if you don't like the black, we got it in red. We got purple sold out. We got it in gray as well.
I'm staying. I don't want to get into that. I really don't. I'm staying away from red build hats like that one. I'm a very good-looking Italian man that probably should be wearing red. Fair?
Fair. We got black. Black hats matter.
Dog, every time you come on this damn show, you say or do something that makes me laugh my ass off. You gotta stop. But I got a black hat on. I love black.
Hey, I will say this. I have locks, and it's hard for me to find hats that actually fit, and this fit. So Daniel's gonna probably have a hat, and it's gonna prove one size fits all.
Bro, everybody asks me why I don't like red. I'm just not a political dude, man.
Also, I've been told to show you we've got Thor's hammer in the building. So
Stormbreaker, that's what it. Pooh Bear, do you know what Stormbreaker's handle is made out
of? It is made out of, if I'm not mistaken, Groot's arm or a piece of Groot's arm.
That's correct. That's correct. Ding, 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 ding. Yes. Hey, have you so did y'all go and watch Thor, the new Thor?
We were supposed to, but then we had events happen. So
I understand. I think I'm gonna go watch it this weekend.
Yeah. I think we're gonna watch it this weekend. We're gonna watch Thor.
No, you said with Caleb.
So but we can go by ourselves.
You said tomorrow.
I didn't say tomorrow. We're gonna go. I just don't know when. I gotta get with my boss here, and
you said tomorrow.
See, I'm already getting. See. Look, I'm this guy, Michael. Michael Jordan's daddy. You know, like you can't even make a joke these days, Pooh. I mean, it's literally just a joke. I don't care who you vote. I really just don't care. Okay, let's get away from that topic.
Okay.
Pooh Bear.
Yes.
BJ Ojulari, team captain.
He was amazing. BJ, Mike Jones. Mike's got some competition.
Who?
Mike Jones. He's got some competition for this interview.
He does. All right, Pooh Bear. It's getting late. We're not in our normal allotted time, so we'll go ahead and get on out of here. Guys, my name is Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports? Jay Johnson podcast around the corner. We greatly appreciate you joining us. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, share, all that good stuff. We'll see y'all soon. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.